Alright, so I'm going to walk you through the claims process so you know what to expect. This can sometimes be a little bit burdensome and a lot to take in. Maybe it's your first time ever going through a claims process before, so I want to just briefly walk you through that so you know what to expect, you know what to look for, you kind of know what to do at what stage. In some future videos, I'm going to break down that into more detail, but for now, I just want to kind of walk you through briefly and sort of talk about some of the main points of each step. So the first one is when the storm event happens. So this could be a windstorm, this could be a hailstorm, this could be some massive rain event, whatever it might be. But the most important thing to keep in mind when it comes to a storm event that is worthy of opening a claim is the insurance terminology of sudden and accidental. So keep in mind, is this event a sudden and accidental event? If it's not, they likely won't open up the claim. Sudden and accidental means like hail just hit your house. That was a sudden storm, completely accidental. It wasn't your fault by any means. Or maybe even a windstorm. Fires, that's also a sudden and accidental event. Even if, and I hate to say it, even if arson had occurred, it's accidental on your part. So when it comes to leaking that's been going on for a long period of time, maybe you have some bubbling coming off the ceiling or you got some paint dripping down the walls, that's probably not sudden. It is accidental, absolutely, but it wasn't sudden. So it has to be sudden and accidental. Okay. The next thing you're going to do, step 2, is a contractor inspection. So notice I did not say call your insurance company yet. Never call your insurance company right away. You don't want your insurance company to get on their radar that you're opening up a claim and have them come out there and do an inspection. And as a matter of fact, a good insurance company is going to recommend that you contact a contractor first anyways. So just avoid that phone call, avoid that step. If you think you have damage that is caused by some sort of storm event, you think that it might be worth opening up a claim, contact a contractor that you trust, have them come out and take a look at it. Now, a good contractor is going to not just look at the work that they do, they're going to walk around the entire property and they're going to try to document everything that they find. That's something that we do. We take a photo of all 4 sides of the house and all 4 corners of the house. We walk around the ground first and try to find every single piece of evidence that would indicate a storm had occurred. Then we go up onto the roof and we do the exact same thing. The reason for that is that we want to act, if we believe that you have damage, we want to build up a list of evidence that shows that you do have damage. That's going to help us down the road with holding insurance accountable when they come out to do their own inspection, whether they're new at it or they're a veteran, and making sure that they are finding the same stuff that you are at the very least, or that we did at the very least, okay? So number 3 is opening the claim. Now, this is important because you don't want to always open the claim, and it's up to the contractor to be completely transparent with what they found. That's what we do. So when we go out there and we do an inspection, if we don't believe that you have enough damage to open the claim, or we don't believe you should based on certain extenuating circumstances, we're going to tell you that. We're going to be honest with you. We don't need to get the job. We want to make sure that you are taken care of and you feel like you're being taken care of. So when you go out there, if we don't believe that there's damage, we don't believe that there's a danger of a leak occurring because of what had occurred, we're going to tell you don't open the claim. But if your contractor does say, yes, there's enough damage here, I do believe you should open a claim, it's at that moment that you contact your insurance company and you get that claim opened up. Sometimes it helps to have the contractor there to help walk you through that conversation with the insurance company because everybody's a little bit different. Sometimes terminology can get mixed up, and you really want to make sure that you're painting the big picture of the situation you're dealing with so that the insurance can come out and be fully equipped when they come out and do the inspection. So when possible, have the contractor there with you when you actually make the claim or open the claim, especially if you're doing this for the first time. All right. Now, it's at this point sometimes, and this is something that we do, but we might give you what's called an insurance representation agreement to sign. All that states is that you're working with us, and you want to let your insurance know, hey, I've got somebody in my corner. They're going to represent me. And if you do find that there's damage, they're going to be the ones to take care of it. That insurance representation agreement allows the contractor, in most cases, every situation is different. But in most cases, it allows the contractor to work on that claim on your behalf, meaning contact your insurance on your behalf, so that you don't have to get mixed up into the middle of everything in this kind of convoluted mess of an insurance claim that can sometimes be confusing. So if you have a contractor that you like, you trust, you know them, and they give you an insurance representation agreement, and you already know that if you have damage you want to work with them, you might as well get that signed, give them that permission up front to work on your claim and communicate with them. So that, and if you have any questions, of course, they can answer it for you, but it just kind of helps speed the process along, because insurance claims, they can take a while sometimes. So sit tight, let us go to bat for you, and fight for you if we have to. Hopefully we don't have to, but let us do that. That's what we do, all right? Then we move on to step number 4, which is the inspection from the insurance company. Now, I wrote in here adjuster inspection, and I actually put asterisks in here. And there's another video after this one, I think it's actually the very next video that you're going to watch, that kind of breaks down the difference between what an adjuster is, what an inspector is, what your agent is, because they are all different people and they all have different roles. So really quickly though, the inspector is going to inspect the house. The adjuster is going to figure out if you have damage or not and give you a claim. All right, so sometimes they come out together, sometimes they don't. But the first thing that's going to happen is the inspector needs to take a look at the house. They need to look over everything. They need to see if they can identify damage on their own. And that's when the claim, almost dropped my marker there, that's when the claim goes from no chance to we got something here. All right. Moving on to claim review, let's go ahead and assume that because we've gone this far, because we have advised you to actually open the claim, we have a pretty good shot of getting it open, because based on our experience, there's damage here. Maybe we have a hair report that actually shows damage. Whatever the case may be, the inspectors come out, they've done their inspection, the adjuster agrees that it's damaged, and they're going to give you a claim. At that point, you should be getting claim paperwork. That paperwork will actually break down everything that's being covered by the insurance company, which, again, I'll break down in another video, but it's going to break down what those items are, how much they're covering it for. That's the paperwork that the contractor needs. We need to be able to look at that and know, all right, do they have everything covered? Did they miss anything? Are there code upgrades that they're missing, they're not accounting for? Are there any PWI terms, which I'll go into later on, it means paid when incurred? Or are they overpaying on this claim? That's really important to know, and I'm going to go into that in another video as well, but it's really important to know where is the financial stance of the insurance company as it relates to your property. That changes how the claim and how the work is actually done later on. Okay. And the last thing is that the work is done. It's when we actually get out there, we complete all of the work. We have to send an invoice out to the insurance company letting them know, hey, this is all done, and either one, everything worked out according to plan, you got everything covered, and we're just going to invoice you for the work that you already said you were willing to pay for. Or two, hey, we found some things while we're up there, we need to do what's called a supplement, and here's the original claim, the original bid, here is a little bit extra on the side because maybe you didn't account for the permit costs, maybe you didn't account that there's some code upgrades or decking that we couldn't see until we got into it, all right? With that, we might have photos, we might have documentation, we might have the permit passed, the final inspection passed. That all might need to go to your insurance company. That's what we do. Send that off to your insurance company, and we send you a final invoice, because what's going to happen is your insurance company is more than likely, doesn't happen all the time, but it happens most of the time, they're not going to send us the money at the end of the project. They're going to send it to you, and then you're going to have to send the money to us after you've gotten it. So we send them all the documentation that they need to show them, hey, work is done, and then we send you an invoice to tell you, hey, work is done, you can expect this from the insurance company.